Your underlying energy is strength, which is definitely talking about remaining strong and having the patience, not only for a relationship and is aware of it, but they're defensive of giving anymore, because not because anybody deserved to have that sort of pain or situation happen to them, but because it wasn't working for either person. It was either enabling another person to continue a certain way of living, which wasn't benefiting their growth. Same with the other person. But there's growth. There's prosperity here. The Ten of Swords, it is devastating, but the worst of it is over, and it's just about building on top of that now. It's going up, because you can't. Again, they're not sure if they can move past this point. Right? I think the Four of Wands is usually a really good card, and saying that it's in spiritual, it can indicate that this person does see this as a relationship that has reached a milestone, right? This person has reached a milestone with this person. Some of you guys, maybe this person here, if this is not you guys, this person sees this as a relationship that's hit a milestone, but they're defensive because, again, they were comfortable with how things were, and they have to learn how to do something differently with that, which is probably why they're defensive in the first place. And I'm going to pull some extra cards with this, because I kind of feel like I need more information as to why this person's really defensive. The Page of Cups. Someone wants to express how they feel. I feel like this person feels really, really defensive because of somebody's way of communicating. Because the Page of Cups is somebody's emotion. Somebody's communicating with emotion. And the fact that they're defensive about emotions can kind of tell me that this person doesn't really trust this, doesn't really, isn't sure whether or not to believe someone's heartfelt apology or someone's heartfelt, expression to them, because of, what they've gone through, if that makes sense. Let me see. Why is Page of Cups coming up for the Nine of Wands? It's almost like someone's not quite, they're not shutting it down. That's kind of what I'm getting. But why is the Page of Cups coming up for the Nine of Wands? Nine of Coins. Yeah, this person's in a comfort zone. They wrap themselves in a gilded cage to protect themselves. And this person's super defensive because this person does have either something that they want, and they're kind of keeping it safe because they're not sure if they're ready to go at. I think they're not willing to give up on their dream, but that sense of defensiveness is also a safe space for them to not necessarily jump into it right away. I think they're trying to heal right now with the Page of Cups. And I think they're not quite ready to start something new, but they know that this is not a situation that they can stay in forever. There has to be growth from here, which is why strength is coming up, which is why that sense of energy is coming up, where there is this need to, put on your bootstraps and keep pushing forward, trudging through the dirt. Even though you hit a really rough patch, there is potential for growth and prosperity, but it's going to require both parties to remain diligent and remain focused, and to of course with patience still work on progressing forward. Okay, I'm making something out of something out of nothing. Amethyst. You guys that have amethyst this time, let's go ahead and see what amethyst says here. Okay. Alright, inner peace. A powerful protector, purifier, and a natural tranquilizer. Amethyst calms the mind and balances extremes. Because it looked like there were some serious extremes here. Somebody definitely was triggered and now is willing to work on it, right? This person sees this relationship as something that awakens a lot of old issues that they didn't realize, or forgotten that were there, or never really, that they thought that they were done and over with. I think this person thought the stuff that they, are obviously recognizing now, they thought they overcame it. They thought they were done with it. They thought that was in the past, but then they realized it hasn't gone anywhere. And I think this person is definitely affected by that in some great degree. Okay. Which is probably why this person sees this relationship as definitely a work in progress. It's something that, definitely needs time for forgiveness and healing. But self-understanding, you have an addictive personality. Damn. Like, they couldn't have said it a little more gently. Jesus. Alright. Well, I think they could have. Gee whiz. But anyway. You have an addictive personality. Make a concerted effort to overcome such a behavior or obsession of any kind and avoid overindulgence. And that's the thing with temperance. Nobody was overindulging. Everybody was like on a really nice sobriety sort of kind of attitude, or they were taking things in moderation. No overdoing it in any area. But then after a while, somebody overindulged and went overboard. Or somebody did something where it took advantage of someone else, or someone felt taken advantage of. And I think that's why this person's super defensive at this moment. Balance work and play. You're prone to excess in both. Understand hidden causes of compulsive actions. Bring peace. Hand your will over to your soul and allow your spirituality to flourish. Divination. Release self-defeating programs. Do not rely on others. Create anything you set your mind to. Be shrewd in business deals. Pay attention to your family. And an honest verdict and success in a court case are possible. Maintain your integrity and let the universe decide. All right, and your chakras that amethyst focuses on or helps with is the third eye and the crown, and the timing is Aquarius and Pisces, and the soul path is developing unshakable inner peace. That's why temperance is the card of peace and harmony, and is because you have that balance. You have that harmony within the self. Like I said, this person, do your thing. Give what you can give in the relationship, with understanding and boundaries that the relationship has for both of you guys. And the same person does the same thing. That will build the relationship up. That will build everybody back up to a very healthy state. But right now, everybody's at critical, and we need to work on stabilizing the self. No more overextending. No more giving of yourself when you know you can't give. No more relying on other people to help you out. Okay, you have to learn to do it on your own. And I think everybody understands that anyway. But it's very important this time, because I think there's a lot of love and there's not passion in this relationship to get this to work. But everyone's only going to get overexpended if there's not a proper balance.